always thought that English was a subject that could not be prepared for, and so I always went in believing that I could wing it. So eventually, this all started to fail when I got C6, and this was quite a shock for me because in PSLE I got A. So everyone around me was also very shocked, and then my mom was also starting to panic. So after asking around, I got introduced to Good School.
In school, I always go for consultations, but it all never worked out for me because it was often in big groups and it was often very rushed. But in Good School, it was something very different because in here, Mr. Tan uses various techniques.
Mr. Tan has given me using very in-depth techniques to help me answer my doubts. So basically for editing, he has many ways to go about the answers to make us try to get the full marks.
I feel like Mr. Tan is a very dedicated teacher because he puts in all effort to make sure that we give our best in every exams, and even if we score badly, he doesn't judge us. And before I came in, I got a C6 for English, and after what Mr. Tan has helped me and put me through, I finally got a B3 in my O levels.
I have started to like English more. Like in the past, I wouldn't like to study it, and I would always try to escape it. Like I would rarely do any homework or revision for it. But upon coming here, I realized how useful it is, and Good School has really enlightened me.
My grade managed to improve by 3 grades. I improved from a B4 to an A1 at O levels. I think it's because of Good School that really helped me, especially Mr. Tan, because he inspired me to do better for English.
For me, I improved a total of 5 grades from E8 to a B3 in O levels. So I think it's actually all due to Mr. Tan, who had inspired me and also motivate me, and he was always there with all his students all the way until the last moment of the exam.
The challenges I faced were not being able to tackle the questions accurately, such as in the comprehension. Then for compo, I had a lot of grammatical and sentence structure mistakes.
Before coming to Good School, I had various problems in my A Math. I made various careless mistakes and I didn't really understand what was going on.
For me, every lesson, Mr. Tan would ask us to hand in some compos and as well as comprehensions, so that he can able to identify the different types of mistakes that hinder us from scoring for English. So from after he identified those mistakes, he specifically tackled those mistakes, ensuring that by the start of O levels, all those mistakes are gone.
Mr. Tang goes by doing things very systematically. He starts from the easier level of it to the more harder part of it, and with that firstly it helps teaching, and secondly it'll help remove any misconception that might come along. And furthermore, he encourages asking questions, which I think is very helpful to clear misunderstandings. And he's also very open on WhatsApp, so I think that's very convenient.
I was able to jump from E8 English to a B3 O level.
Because of Mr. Tang's teaching methods, he made it seem that A-Math was more of a game rather than a mathematics subject. Because of that, I managed to improve from a C to an A2.
Before coming to the good school, I found A math to be very difficult for me, and I was very unmotivated to do it since throughout my secondary 3 journey, I constantly had an F time for A math.
For me, I had trouble with A math as I could not keep up with the pace with my teachers in school. It was just too fast for me.
The good school helped improve my behavior on A math, allowing me to become more motivated in studying the subject, and even allowed me to enjoy the subject more. And eventually, during my O-level, for my O-level results, I received an 5-grade improvement from an E8 to a B3.
It helped me to gain more discipline as I was forced to spend hours here doing work. So it developed into a habit, and eventually I got used to studying more and more. And I eventually improved from a C6 in A math to an A1.
I did not really understand what the English teacher is teaching during class, so I would mostly not pay attention.
I had trouble understanding the different question types in lessons, but Mr. Tan helped to clarify the different question types and allowed me to know how to answer them properly.
Mr. Tan gave us many methods to solve the problems that I face in class and teach me how to plan my essay before I start writing it, which allowed me to have better time management and thus I can finish my compo on time.
And I had a better understanding of the various English word types like grammar.
So like in school, our class size was like very large, like around 40 students. In good school there's like smaller class size, so my tutor is able to teach me individually and like not neglect.
Out here at good school, my A math class, our class only had around 3 to 4 students only. So he was able to teach each one of us individually and give us the attention that we needed to understand our questions.
So my grades for A maths improved from E8 to A1. So like after coming to good school, I better cope with my A maths and I start to like A maths more.
My grade for A math improved from D7 to A8 to A2 in O levels.
Before coming to good school, my English was very bad, and I always got a D7 for my exams. But after coming to good school, Mr. Tan, he helped me to get better and develop my skills in English furthermore.
Before coming to good school, it was very hard to understand what the teachers were saying because of the different math terms being thrown around. And because I was too shy, I was always too scared to ask the teacher for any clarification. But after coming to good school, my tuition teacher, Mr. Zhang, assured me that it was okay to ask him questions.
My grades have improved by 2 grades from a C6 to a B4 after I met Mr. Tan. Mr. Tan was a kind tutor who helped me to improve in my English skills and my literacy skills.
But after coming to good school and getting all the clarifications I needed, learning the different methods, my results have improved from E8 in prelims to A2 in O levels.
The challenge I face is failing A-Math. Like, I didn't understand what the teacher was saying, then I didn't really do practice because I wanted to drop A-Math in the first place.
Oh, then I felt very helpless because I didn't know what to do to improve my Chem and A-Math because I've been getting F9 throughout the whole Sec 3.
So because Mr. Zhang explained everything from scratch, it really helped me to understand what I was going to say, like what I'm supposed to do.
And all the tutors actually taught strategies that can help me to better understand the different topics.
I understand what I'm doing now in class, and my grades improved from E8 to A2.
For my Chem and A-Math both started as F9, but actually in the end it improved to A2 during O levels.
The challenges face is that I don't know like how to revise for English before like O levels and everything.
I don't know how to better improve like my grades for English, so I think that coming to good school, then like Mr. Tan provided like the stats and everything, so like I can better improve myself.
He teaches us how to plan for like paper ones and everything, so that helped me a lot in preparing for exams and also like during the exams.
Like every time when he print out the notes, he will like explain to us and like not throw the notes to us without like explanation lah. So I think it's quite a good thing. And then before the exam, then he will revisit and revise again for us to ensure that like we understand and like always like clarify our doubts.
I found that chemistry was a tiresome subject, and I always feel like always getting F9s the whole time. So I lost interest in it quickly once I started in Sec 3. He acted more as a friend and a mentor than a teacher. He was always very upbeat around us, and he'd always be very happy. He had very interactive lessons, right? He brought videos to show us, to allow us to have interest in the topic he was currently going through that day or revising. This allowed us to actually focus better on the subject and actually concentrate more on the task at hand and do better at it. My grades improved from a D7 to a A2, which is a 5-grade improvement. I'm very happy for that.
I every time fail my English by like I got D7 or E8. But after I joined the good school, my result become more stable. It's around C6 and C5.
Before I joined good school, I don't know how to do well for English. I also don't know how to prepare for English. But after joining good school, I feel like English is become easier to me. So it's easier for me to handle. Mr. Tan uses a unique and interesting way to teach English. He uses mathematic ways to teach English. He makes English strategies to mathematics formulas, so it's easier for me to remember because I'm good at mathematics.
Before coming to good school, I was constantly failing my maths, and as I could not really understand what my teacher was teaching as she was going too fast.
Before coming to good school, my E-Math was a C6 and my A-Math was a F9 constantly, and I could not improve. So I had no motivation to start
So after joining good school, Mr. Zhang's methods of teaching me is much more simpler and interesting, such that I can understand better. And he also made me more confident in doing maths.
When I joined good school, Mr. Zhang took me as both E and A Math, and with his methods of breaking down more complicated topics into simpler and smaller subtopics for me to understand, made it much easier and much more enjoyable for me to learn math.
So after joining good school, my mathematics grade has been constantly improving from a C6 to a B4. I managed to achieve A2 for both of my maths.
Similarly for me, before joining good school, I had C6 for E Math and F9 for A Math, and by the end of it, O levels, I managed to get A2 for E Math and a B4 for A Math.
I did not have good grammar foundations, so I kept making grammar mistakes, which caused me to lose marks in my compo.
For me, I took tuition for chemistry and math. The reason why was because I missed a lot of lessons during school, and most of the lessons that I missed were all the fundamental subjects and the topics that I needed to do.
Mr. Tan used the different grammar rules and made them into formulas to help us to understand how to use them in our compo. And he also used the different sentence structures to help me to form correct sentences to improve my sentence structure.
Mr. Teo, the chemistry teacher, he went through most of the topics that was gone through during Sec 3 and Sec 4 in a bite-sized, more easier to understand way, so that even people like me who haven't been to class for a long time could understand.
For my prelims, I had a D7, and for O levels, I actually improved by 3 grades to a B4.
It helped me to understand more about the subjects that I'm taking and develop an interest in it. So my grades went from D7 to an A.